Okay, so let's set a scene. Picture this. You're covering the acute take.
The classic scenario.
Say 3 in the morning, and the ward just, it lights up. You get 3 bleeps all at once.
The immediate workload surge.
You've got a staff nurse calling with a really complicated discharge query, a pharmacy alert that some routine antibiotics are now overdue. And then the critical one. The registrar's bleeped you for an immediate review. A deteriorating chest pain patient with a new WS2 of 6.
And that feeling, that jolt of adrenaline where your brain just screams, do something, anything. That's the exact psychological trap we're here to talk about today.
Exactly. The urge is to just rush at the loudest noise or maybe the easiest task.
Right.
So today we are taking a deep dive into the strategy for working under that kind of extreme acute time pressure. We're going to build a repeatable, safety-first playbook out of your source material.
And this is, I have to say, a high-frequency, absolutely must-know topic for any high-stakes clinical exam. It's testing your ability to maintain control and patient safety when the demands just exceed the resources. We're not testing speed here.
No, we're testing process.
Exactly, process.
So what's the one guiding principle that the sources really hammer home?
The central exam truth, the thing that has to anchor every single decision you make under pressure, is this sentence.
Okay.
Pause, plan, and prioritize. Single task critical steps, communicate and escalate early, and document your plan and progress. If you can just hold on to that mantra, you're on the right track.
That immediately pushes back against that instinct to rush, doesn't it? The mindset we need, and this is straight from the notes, is slow is smooth, smooth is fast.
In the eyes of an examiner, structure is always, always faster than speed.
Okay, so let's unpack that. The core strategy: pause, plan, prioritize.
Well, the highest scoring first action is completely counterintuitive. It's to stop. Stop and make a plan. The source material is so explicit about this.
I can see that.
Unstructured multitasking is the single biggest error you can make.
But if that chest pain patient's new WS score is climbing, pausing for 30 seconds, I mean, that feels like a clinical risk in itself. How do you defend that 30-second stop?
Because it's a calculated risk management step. Think about why the exam logic punishes rushing.
Okay.
It's because rushing is the direct cause of prescribing errors, of missed deterioration, of tasks just getting dropped. That 30-second micro huddle drastically reduces the risk of you making the wrong first move, which will waste far more time later on.
So the SJT is looking for proof that you can control the workload, not be controlled by it.
Precisely. The key scoring logic rewards structured prioritization. You have to show you can make a brief plan, triage the threats, and, this is crucial, protect what we call focus windows for the high-risk stuff.
Right.
So options where you plan, assign tasks, protect those critical steps, and escalate. They score exponentially higher than just rushing in or trying to do everything yourself.
So let's apply that to our scenario. The new WS6 chest pain, the overdue antibiotic, the discharge query. What does that highest scoring step-by-step framework actually look like?
Okay, so this is your blueprint for the next half an hour. We call them the high-yield actions.
Right.
First, you pause and you plan. A quick now, next, later list.
So chest pain is now.
Absolutely. The antibiotic is next, but it needs assigning immediately. And the discharge query is later. Just getting that down on paper or a whiteboard externalizes the workload.
Takes it out of your head.
Yes. Next, assign tasks. You can't do it all. So identify what can be delegated and give those tasks clear owners and times.
And then?
Protect your single task focus window. When you go to that WS6 patient, your assessment and prescribing has to be interruption-free.
Okay, that makes sense.
Fourth is communicate in a closed loop. We'll talk more about that. But basically, you need confirmation for every task you delegate. And finally, document and escalate early. Record your decisions, and if the whole situation still feels unsafe, you escalate for more capacity before you fail.
So the highest priority action is actually the planning itself. That's what I'm hearing. It's about buying yourself time and reducing that error drift.
Exactly. And to make this rapid process stick when your brain is already overloaded, there's a simple memory aid that covers all 5 of those steps.
Oh, brilliant. I love a good mnemonic.
It's PACR.
PACR. Okay, let's break that down. What does each step mean on a busy night shift?
Okay, so P is for pause plan. That's the 30-second triage huddle we just talked about.
No.
Top 3 risks right now.
Got it.
A is for assign. Who's doing what? In your scenario, if the antibiotic is a simple dose, the nurse can be chasing that while you're with the patient.
Okay. C.
C is for clock or timers. Set micro deadlines. Don't just say do this task. Say do this task in the next 15 minutes and report back to me.
I see. It adds accountability.
Yeah.
What about E?
E is for escalate. And this one is so important. You seek help early. As soon as you realize the workload is exceeding your safe capacity, don't wait.
And the R?
R is for record. Document the plan, the assignments, the times, any escalation you've made. It guarantees continuity of care.
That clock and assign piece leads us right into delegation. And this idea of closed-loop communication, which you mentioned, is a huge marker for safety.
It is.
So if I just shout to a nurse, can you get that antibiotic done?
Mm-hmm.
Why does that score so poorly?
Because it's unstructured, it introduces ambiguity, and a real risk that it gets forgotten. Closed-loop communication is a very specific script designed to stop things falling through the gaps.
So what's the model phrase? How should I say it?
It's a formula. Name, then task, then time frame, then ask for confirmation.
Right.
So, Sarah, I need you to chase and administer the overdue amoxicillin within 10 minutes. Can you confirm you've understood that task and that deadline?
And that confirmation, that's the closed loop part.
Yes, you have to hear it back. You need them to affirm it. It locks in the clarity and the accountability.
And I see in the notes here the 3-10-30 concept. What's that about?
So this is about managing the immediate crisis. It stands for identify 3 risks. So chest pain, the antibiotic delay, your capacity. Then dedicate a 10-minute sprint to the highest priority, the new WS6 patient.
And the 30.
You set a 30-minute review point, a moment to regroup, check the whole ward, and update your senior. It stops you getting tunnel vision on just that first problem.
That's really useful. But, even with the best plans, things can break down. What are the red flags that mean you have to just drop everything else and act immediately?
Okay, so the sources highlight 4 moments where safety overrides your list.
Number 1.
An NWS2 score of 5 or more, or any sign of rapid deterioration, that just demands immediate senior review, period.
Makes sense.
Second, being interrupted during a high-risk step. If you're prescribing or preparing a defib or taking complex consent, you have to stop everything else. The task at hand gets your full attention. An unsafe backlog. If you get to your 30-minute review and you realize critical tasks haven't even been started, you have to escalate capacity right then and there.
And the last one?
Lack of accountability. If you realize a critical task has no owner, no timer, that task becomes your new highest priority until it is safely assigned.
That interruption scenario is so common. So I'm mid-prescribing the pain relief for the chest pain, and the discharge blink comes in. What's the single safest action?
Stop. Recheck your prescribing from the very beginning and deliberately re-enter that process. You have to protect the integrity of that task.
You can't just pick up where you left off.
Never. The risk of a decimal place error, a dose miscalculation, it's just far too high. For the SJT, that is non-negotiable.
Okay, so now let's talk about the traps. The SJT is designed to catch you out with answers that look tempting under pressure.
Yes, they play on that feeling of being busy and proactive, but they violate the core safety principles we've been talking about.
So let's dissect them. Trap number 1, probably most common. Multitask prescribing while answering other bleeps.
The temptation is that you feel incredibly productive. 2 birds, 1 stone. But it gets penalized so severely because you're dramatically increasing your cognitive load.
You're splitting your focus.
Exactly.
Right.
You violate that principle of a protected focus window, and the potential consequence is a preventable medication error. It's a massive safety breach.
Trap number 2, work faster and document later. I'll catch up when things are quiet.
Another huge scoring error. I know documentation feels slow, but skipping it is a fatal flaw in continuity of care.
Because what if you have a shift change?
Or a senior needs to review your management and there's just no record. Patient safety is completely compromised. The golden rule is you record critical decisions and actions in a timely way, even if it's brief.
Okay, trap number 3, the superhero complex. I'll just do everything myself to show I can handle it.
This is a failure to manage resources, plain and simple. The doctor who tries to do everything just becomes the bottleneck.
The single point of failure.
Precisely. And it leads to this hidden risk accumulation because other tasks aren't getting done. You're breaching your duty to work within your limits. The exam rewards delegation, not martyrdom.
And the final trap, delaying escalation to avoid annoying the registrar.
Ah, yes. This comes from a fear of looking incompetent, but the clinical rule is crystal clear.
Which is?
You must escalate as soon as your workload threatens patient safety. If you wait until the patient has already deteriorated, you've turned a preventable capacity issue into an actual crisis.
So prevention scores higher than a delayed reaction.
Always. And this all connects back to our real-world responsibilities. This is about GMC alignment, isn't it?
It has to be.
Absolutely. Everything we've discussed is anchored in fundamental GMC duties. By pausing and planning, you're upholding your duty to prioritize patient safety and work within your limits.
And the closed-loop communication.
That's about ensuring your delegation and referrals meet the standards for clarity and oversight. And refusing to document later, that's adhering to the duty to keep clear, accurate, timely records. This is management. It's not just medicine.
Let's finish this section with a quick-fire round. I'll give you a scenario. You give me the highest scoring action from the rules.
I'm ready.
You realize you are physically overwhelmed. You can't complete your now and next lists safely.
Escalate capacity immediately to the nurse in charge and the registrar. State your priority list and the potential risk of failure.
Okay. You're interrupted during a critical, high-risk infusion.
Stop. Protect the line. Take the bleep call, then return to the infusion checklist and restart deliberately from step 1.
Final one. You feel too busy to stop for that micro huddle.
You force yourself to take it. That 30 to 60-second pause is essential to prevent a critical error 5 minutes from now. It saves time in the long run.
That is an incredibly comprehensive playbook.
It is.
So we've covered a huge amount there, really shifting from that gut instinct to a structured response. Let's try and summarize the 4 key takeaways that you need to have in your head in that moment of crisis.
Okay, these are the actions that define safety and get the highest marks. 1, plan briefly. Never, ever dive straight into the crisis without triage.
Number 2.
Single task, every critical step. Prescribing, assessment, procedures, all done without interruption.
3.
Delegate, using that closed-loop communication. Name, task, time frame, and confirmation.
And last one.
Document your priorities and escalate for more capacity early, well before your safety margins are breached.
It's just fascinating that the most effective, highest scoring action when you're under pressure is the one that forces you to slow down first.
Well, it raises a really important question for you to think about, doesn't it? If our default response to pressure is always to rush, are we just treating the symptom, which is the clock, or the underlying cause, which is a lack of a safety structure?
That's a great point.
The highest scoring action is almost always the one that buys you control and future time through planning, not the one that just speeds up the action you're doing right now. Safety is measured in structure, not in speed.
That is a powerful thought to take forward, whether you're sitting the exam or you're on the ward floor tomorrow. If you are serious about mastering this structure and other high-yield SJT topics, we highly recommend checking out the comprehensive resources at passthemsra.com.
Yes, those resources are fantastic for providing the model answers and framework application that really make these principles stick.
Thank you so much for joining us for this deep dive into managing clinical pressure. Go out there, plan, assign, protect, and record. We'll catch you on the next deep dive.